as part of our program, the Banff Musicians in Residence program, we have guest faculty each week. And this week we've been really blessed with the wisdom and knowledge of Carmen Braden, who's come down from Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories. She has an extraordinarily diverse practice as a songwriter. She has a deep fascination for ice and has spent a lot of time doing field recordings with ice. And she's recently just had a piece premiered by the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. She's an extraordinary artist, and she's going to share some of her new songs with you tonight. So please make her very welcome.
Thank you so much, Aviva. Wasn't that a fun, amazing video? I was trying to do it backstage as well, and we could hear you through the mics. Yeah, it's so wonderful to be here. I've had such a wonderful time this week as faculty, talking to participants, getting to do some of my own creative work as I can, and just feeling the energy and watching so many people from such diverse backgrounds take risks and really go on these deep dives, whether it's looking ahead to studies or their own creative work or trying something completely new. It's been really humbling and really exciting. So yeah, I'm from Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, or Sambake and Denendeh, which is the language of the Dene people. Treaty 8 is where I'm from, and it's so lovely to be here on Treaty 7 land. So I'll share with you some works that I made this week that I call seed songs. And so these are very short songs. And so I get to play a bunch of them. And so what I think I'll do is I'll play through them all, and maybe just kind of one after the other, and I'll say the title or the thing that I'm writing about for each one beforehand. And then since they're so short, well, I'll just take a little second and then go right into the next one. But then what I wanted to try, in kind of the spirit of this wonderful risk-taking space that we're able to have here, is I'm going to go back to a few of the songs after I've run through them and expand them a bit more in a kind of an improvised way. So what I did with these songs was I was trying to create a kind of core idea of a song that I can go back to in the future and develop and grow, or in some cases maybe it's enough to stand on its own as a true kind of miniature. And so what I've done for each of these is have kind of three core elements of bass line, melody, and lyric. And so it's very pared down, and you'll hear that the first time, and then I might try and have some fun with it the second time around. Does that make sense? Any questions? You're good? Okay. Actually, and they're going to run through in order of the time that I wrote. So they're kind of starting right from when I arrived here. The sky looks different on a day you'll be That was called Departure Day. This next one's called Toronto Creek. Oh, hello, Toronto. Did you know your rivers run, 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 run at right angles, angles? The cold, this one's called Window. The cold, noisy nostalgia of single pane windows. Sometimes I miss it. I miss it. one's called Mountain. I was staring at a giant, jagged one.
Slow motion, gravity battles, lost because your patience outlasted erosion.
This next one's called Fall Coat. Feels like I should have brought my winter one already. Okay.
Warm enough to justify wearing it, thin enough to let in the wind, a temporary coat, a bridge from skin to winter shield.
This one's called Big Old Dead Tree.
Still standing, still taller than the young ones growing up at your roots. Skeleton spare, all black on one side, waiting for the big storm that will bring you down.
This one's called First Impressions. I'm cheating on this one. That's like kind of a groove.
Aviva swims, Aviva will always be swimming. This is the first impression, the mold that will be gently broken with each new meeting, each new set of earrings.
My daughter, who's like 1.5, was very impressionable when she met Aviva when she was swimming. And so it was like, Aviva swims, Aviva swimming. And then Aviva had clothes on the next time. It was very confusing. This one's called Lights Off. I wrote this one in the dark.
Fangs, claws, scales, all the things that come at me in the dark are real until slain by a 60-watt bulb.
This one's called Clocks, or subtitle, quarter note equals 60.
The desperate man who stopped time in a box. Did he think he'd live longer if he slowed his new clock down?
And this last one, I was inspired by all of you who've gone out hiking. And I didn't get a chance to do too much of that, but I was imagining. So the song's called Uphill.
The burn that moves from the calf to the leg, to the belly, to the lung, to the mouth, to the eye. Each burn a different jalapeno rating. And still you move uphill.
those are my songs. So just for kicks and because they're so short, I'm gonna, not all of them, but I'll go back to a few of them and just try some things out here, kind of for the first time to see if I can just keep the same text, but see if we can find some other fun stuff.
Oh, hello, Toronto. Did you know your rivers run, 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 run at right angles? Angles, angles, angles. Oh, Toronto.
All right. Woo.
The cold, noisy nostalgia of single pane windows. Sometimes I miss it. I miss it.
That was great. So maybe a little bit of the story behind some of this. So I was looking at these like single pane windows in the office that I was in. I think they were single pane, and I was just realizing that most of the windows in newer places now have like triple pane, and they're nice and warm. And when I was growing up, it wasn't always like that, and there was like frost buildup, or like your blanket against your bed would kind of freeze to the wall if it was under one of those windows. And so it's part of your childhood.
Warm enough to justify wearing it, thin enough to let in the wind. A temporary coat, a bridge from skin to winter shield.
One more, because I think it's my favorite, and then I'll leave you for the night. Just this is back to the Aviva story.
Aviva swims. Aviva will always be swimming. This is the first impression. The mold that will be gently broken with each new meeting, each new set of earrings.
Thank you so much.